So one popular question is, should I fix max transition violation if my timing is closed? We all know that a sluggish signal, which is having a higher transition, will lead to higher delay, and in turn, it will cause timing violations. But what if my timing is closed? Should I still fix max tran? Let's look at it. We know that delay of a standard cell depends on two factors: input transition and output capacitance. Now let us see how these input transition and output capacitance are modeled in the libraries and how the delay of a cell is calculated. If we look at how the delay of a cell is modeled, there will be something called as lookup tables in the libraries, where my input transition will be on the x-axis and then output cap or output load will be on the y-axis. So for each value of input transition and for each value of output load, I will then calculate the delay using simulations. So these are simulated values wherein I simulate the standard cell by giving this much of input tran and this much of output load. And then I will fill up the whole table from min max tran to max max tran and then min load to max load values. So whenever in the design, if I get some value of max tran, let's say input tran is 60 PS and then load is 32 femtofarad, what I will do is I will directly go to the library and pick up the value that is there. Now, if the values of input tran and output load are not exactly matching the values given in the table, then we need to interpolate. So if it is between 16 and 32, if the load is between 16 and 32, and if the tran is between 60 and 80, then we need to interpolate and the tool will calculate the value of the delay. So this is how the delay calculation of a cell happens during timing analysis using the lookup tables in the libraries. Now when I say my max tran is violating, my max tran is definitely not 100 PS. It is way above 100 PS. For example, let us take it as 250 PS. Right? Let me write that in red. So what happens is such a tran value occurs, which is way outside the zone that is given in my lookup table. So instead of interpolate, the tool will now try to do something called as extrapolation, which means calculating something outside the given zone. Let us draw a simple graph and see how the tool might calculate this. Using this graph, I have just redrawn the table on the graph. Now, the tool, if it has to find some transition between 60 and 80 and some load between 32 and 64, we thought that it will do interpolation. What if it has to do extrapolation? I got a tran value of 250. So let us mark that on the scale, which will be somewhere here. Now, the tool will try to do extrapolation. It is not that it is not going to calculate the delay value. We are going to get some delay value. Taking 250 femtofarad as the load, for example, 250 PS is our transition, which is violating. Now, whatever interpolation the tool has done, it is within the range of these green dots, which means I have simulated for some values and in between the values I am interpolating. So the confidence level or the uncertainty of the delay value calculated is very, very less. Now, if we take some value which is way outside the zone, the tool does the extrapolation, but the delay value that it calculates, let's take for example, it has given 100,000 PS because the Tran is higher, there is higher delay. The uncertainty of this 1000 PS is very, very high. Since the green dots are also a simulation, what would happen is after the chip is manufactured, let us say if my delay value is given as 42, due to some variations, it may change to 42.35 something, just an example. But when the tool does extrapolation, this 1000 PS may increase to 1200. So there's a 200 PS increase. Why is this happening, or a decrease? So we do not know what would happen when the actual chip is manufactured. The uncertainty with which we are going ahead with the 1000 PS for the design is very, very high, that we do not know what it actually is on the chip. This is the reason max transition should be fixed even though our timing is closed.